Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to Get Rich 101. I am your host. I'm Sekou Wrights. Sekou Wrights. I had to enunciate. Sekou Wrights. I'm your host, and I'm an author. I'm an author of this book in particular, Hack Your Pain Now. Hack Your Pain Now. As I said, please give me a rating if you have the book already. If you've already read it, please give me a rating on Amazon. Please give me a rating on Amazon. And I got to figure out what I'll give you in exchange for that. I got to think of something, but I'll think of something and I'll give you something. So yeah, please give a comment, something to let people know that there is information that's live in this book that's important right now. Right now. Okay. Also, shout out to New Thought Media Network. Thank you for allowing me this show, because I don't know what would happen if I didn't have the show. If I didn't have the show, I don't know what would happen to me. But I'm grateful for the show. I'm grateful for the show. Thank you. And that said, let's get into it. So I want to talk about money. That's the theme of the show, Get Rich 101. But as I've been saying, I've been trailing off into the hinterlands, right? I didn't realize that, but I've been moving much further to a smaller skew at the top. And so what I'm going to do is split the show in half. Yeah. And so the first half of the show, I'm going to talk about money, just for people that need me to talk about money. And the second part will be me responding to something that's related to trading, because trading is where I'm at. That's where I am. But also, I need the reminder. So that's what I have to say. So let me start by saying this. $75,000. $75,000. A single check, a single payment of $75,000. Now, you got a check with $75,000. Would you think it was over? Would you think you were rich and you can just hang out and relax? All right. The person who did get that money, what's his name? Oh man. You know him if you see him. I have to find him. I have to find him and show him tomorrow. Anyway, is an actor. He is popular for Guardians of the Galaxy. He's the male lead in Guardians of the Galaxy. Anyway, he got this check for $75,000. He was like, I have made it. He started singing, dancing. I've made it. He went to travel different places. He went to Hawaii, went to all these different places. And in 2 months, he was like, where's their money? Where'd that money go? Now that's what I'm here to tell you. That the money will vanish. The money will vanish. No matter how much you have in your bank account, it will vanish if it's just sitting in your bank account. It will just vanish if it's sitting in your bank account. So this is very important. You've got to shift your money around so that you've got some left over. Now, I have decided to give a very simple rule that I'm keeping for myself when I don't mess up. Because I still mess up sometimes. But my goal is to take 10%. Take 10% of everything that comes in. Now, it took me a while to get to that. But it took me a while to get to giving money, donating a little bit from everything that came in. That's Nelson talking. So um, so every time you get money, you save money. So that took me a while because I was like, well, I'm trying to get something from this, or I'm trying to get something from this, and then I'll give some money, but only if I get money from this. If I just get some money because somebody owes me some money, then that's just whatever. But no, but no. Anytime the money transfer wiggles on your side, anytime it wiggles, anytime it wiggles, you need to set aside 10%. You need to set aside 10%. So if someone owes you money, if someone is paying you back for something, if you need to send somebody some money, like whatever it is. Sorry, my nose is itching. But anyway, I'm sorry. So when your bank account wiggles, this is what I'm saying. When your bank account wiggles, that's your excuse to take 10% out. And you want to think about it that way as your excuse for taking out 10%. You ought to be looking for opportunities to take out 10%. Looking for opportunities to take out 10%. All right. So I'll give you an example. So let's see. What example can I give? Well, say I let somebody borrow some money, right? When they pay me back, I'm going to treat that money like it's new, not a replacement of what's old. I'm going to treat that money like it's new. I'm going to kick 10% of that money that's coming in from them repaying me off and away. 10% off and away. That's it. So that means that if I give somebody $100 and they keep paying back $100, they pay me back $90 because 10% went off and away. Went off and away. Now this is important. This is important. You've got to get your mind in the habit of putting 10% away, 10% away, 10% away, 10% away, 10% away. Always got to remember to set that money aside off the top. Off the top. This is where I need the reminder. You need to get the money off the top because if you don't, you wait, it'll get garbled in your mind, and you won't feel like you have enough money to pay for this, that, the other. You won't remember your money that you can spend your money. I messed that up. So what I'm saying is you can't remember. Oh man, no, I forgot it. Aphasia. Okay. Well, anyway, what I'm saying is you've got to. I'm still trying to find it. I'm still trying to find it. I'm still trying to find it because it was a good point too. Oh man. Okay. Well, I'm leaving that alone. I'm leaving that alone. So, for those of you that just kept catching up with us, we're talking about setting aside 10%. Setting aside 10%. That's it. That's it. 10%, but all the time. But all the time. But all the time. Like if there's even a squiggle. Hey, listen, on the same equation, if you borrowed $100 from me, you borrowed $100 from me, you just borrowed $90. You just borrowed $90 because you put 10% away immediately. So if you really need $100, you need to ask me for 110. Because then you take that $10, put it aside, and you still got $100. That's what you have to do. That's what you have to do. So either end of the equation, you have to get religious about putting away 10%. Take it away and put away. Take it, put away. Take it, put away. So that's the main thing I want to say, right? That's my main thing. I'm going to be talking about this every day, right? That's the main thing. Number two is where do you put the money? Oh, I'm about to sneeze. Okay. So where do you put the money? Where do you put the money? So I'm going to give you just one answer because There are lots of answers. There are lots of answers. But this answer will give you the best of where the money's coming from, right? So I'm going to say you save the money with Schwab. I'm going to say you open the money with Schwab because, like, yes, it's a little more difficult in terms of getting the account set up. It takes a little more time to set up the account, but you can do it on your phone, on your phone, on your phone. Just sit there and give yourself half an hour to set it up, right? And once you have it set up, you just transfer it from your phone, right? Transfer it from your phone until you get it automatically set up to go over automatically, right? Just a little bit, each time, right? So I'm suggesting Charles Schwab because there are all these other benefits that you will learn about later, right? So let me give you two. I'll give you two. So Schwab is where you need to go. That's where you need to go. And if you can't get there yet, then just go for Acorns. Acorns is small, easy, ready. You can just pop it up and open it and immediately begin pulling cash into it. And also, it also funds money into it. It funds money into it. So it rounds up. So if you go and spend $1.75 on something out here in the world, because you're spending $1.75 for whatever, M&Ms, right? It will select that transaction and add 25 cents to it to make it an even $2, and take that 25 cents out and invest it. So that's a great thing to have. That's a great thing to have. So those are my two choices. My two choices are Schwab. Just get into Schwab. Just get the money over into Schwab. Doesn't even matter where you put it yet. Just get it over into Schwab. Or Acorns. 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 All right. Now, so I guess I should switch them in order, because Acorns is a little bit easier than dealing with Schwab. So take that 10%. Anytime your account wiggles, anytime your account wiggles, you think, now I get to save 10%. Now I get to save 10%. Take it, put it away, put it into Acorns first, or you know what? Acorns until you graduate to Schwab. That's where I should put it, right? That's where I should put it for now. All right, so that's my point. You must take 10% out every time your account wiggles. Anytime your account wiggles, take 10% out. Number two, put that money into Acorns. If you can't put it in Acorns, put it in Charles Schwab. Charles Schwab is where you ultimately need to go. And that's it. That's it for now. That's it for now. That's the first step towards you becoming wealthy, right? That's the first step. Right? Now, I got to remind you that getting there, being able to pass the money, that 10%, that initial 10%, passing that money is going to be hard. It's going to be hard. It's going to be hard. And I got to tell you that with me, I told you I still mess up sometimes. But what I discovered that is, if I gave myself a percentage of what I had coming to me from DoorDash, if I transferred the money the day I got the money, I remember I used to get paid on Tuesdays. On Tuesdays, I was like, I would say, be ready. On Tuesdays, I would move some of that money to the side, right? And then I would focus on what I had, and I wouldn't even remember what I moved over to Acorns. That's what I was doing over to Acorns. I didn't even worry about that anymore. I focused on what I had, right? Not lose my money, get everything would go all the way. I'd spend all my money, whatever. But that money that I set aside over here kept growing, kept growing, kept growing. It started growing like this, this, this. But then it started going like this, this. It started growing faster. And I was like, wow, it's really doing something. So remember, remember, don't take your expenses, don't take your $10, your 10% from the bottom of the barrel. You have to take it from the top of the barrel. I'll say this clearly. You have to take the money from the top of the barrel. It's got to be done, because if you take it from the bottom of the barrel, you'll figure out a way not to do it. I trust me. I know. I know. You got to give from the top of the barrel before anything else takes over. Okay. All right. So that's what I wanted to say about that. And let me do my affirmations, and then we'll get over into the conversation. See what 25 comments. All right. Let's see what we got here. So let's do the affirmations first. I'm so happy and grateful to be a multi-millionaire in every area of my life. I'm so happy and grateful to be a multi-millionaire in every area of my life. Ashe, ashe, ashe. All right, so let's see what we got in terms of comments. 24 comments. B King, burn it up. Burn it up. Let's see. Okay, what? I just left Charles Schwab in Annapolis. You can. Are you willing to get there? Are you willing? Yes. Very proud of you, Fee. Very proud of you. She was going to do something else with the money. I was like, just get it in. Just get it in. Get it in. Just get it in. And so she got a cashier's check made, and she got it filled out and took it to Annapolis Marathon. Now look, that just goes to show you that there are what do you call them? Like, they're different branches. There are branches in every city, right? There's some right here on 42nd Street. There's some in Annapolis. And I just looked it up online. I said, well, let me look. And I found it on Annapolis. I was like, yeah, this is brilliant. It's brilliant that there are branches everywhere. So she could just walk into a branch like it's a bank and deposit her money right there. I mean, how great is that to know that you can be anywhere in the world, and still be able to drop your money? What? That was great, because I'd never done that. I was like, oh, well, let me look. And I looked online, found it, boom. So I hope that process went well, and got the money in, and that's great. That's great. That means you can be wherever you need to be and get your money where it needs to go, because it needs to go into Schwab. That's where it needs to go. It needs to go into Schwab. For all the reasons I won't get into right now, but that's where you need to be. All right, let's see. Thanks, Fee, for inviting your whole world. Branches in just about every city. No Charles Schwab in Baltimore. Ooh. She mentioned this to me yesterday. That's interesting, though. That's interesting. No branch in Baltimore. In Baltimore, let me get into it, but that's very telling. That's very telling that there are no Schwabs located in Baltimore. That's telling. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. Yeah. Okay. So branches, yes. Let's see. Speak to those who are experiencing financial challenges they think they can't afford. Yes. All right. That's gonna take me home. It's gonna take me home. See, because what I was doing, I was coming from a job where I was paid $200,000 per year, right? So I was making a lot of money, making a lot of money. And, and went from that to doing DoorDash. I was doing DoorDash, and I was doing DoorDash, and and was trying to get the money via DoorDash. And when you the little amount you're making now, nothing. And and mm, and so that that amount of money feels so small. It feels so small that it can't possibly cover anything, right? But what you do, as I just talked about it, what you do is you take off. So you just went from a barrel, like $200,000 a year, right, into a very small, much smaller a much smaller barrel. Feels like it's going to go at any time, right? Okay. So you're going to take a little bit off the top of this barrel. Off the top of this barrel, it's going to feel like nothing. I mean, I was still pulling like $10 off of $100, so $90. I had $90, and $9 didn't seem like enough, but it happened. It happened. I just put that money aside, and I thought for sure, I was going to need that money, and I was going to pull it out, but I didn't. I didn't. I don't know how I didn't, but I didn't. And so I kept putting that money aside. So you are the same person. Like, no matter how big or small your barrel is, no matter how big or small it is, you have to take 10% off the top of that barrel. You must. You must. You must. Right? And you can't just talk about it. You got to do it. You can't just talk about it. You got to do it. Right? And I'm speaking to myself too. I done messed up a few times. But seriously, you have to take the money off the top. And that's when take the money off top and forget about it. Put over into Acorns one day and set it up for the round offs and leave it alone. Or put it into Charles Schwab one day and just set it up and leave it alone. And just don't worry about what to do with the money. You learn what to do with the money later. Learn what to do with you will learn what to do with the money later. But now just put it away. Put it away. Put it away. So listen, if you think you can't afford it, like imagine how I felt coming from $200,000 a year down to DoorDash. Come on. I feel like, I felt terrible. But I decided I got to do something. And I read this book. Didn't even read the whole book, but the book said, pay yourself. And I read it. Some of the book said, pay yourself first. I read this other book, pay yourself first. And I found all these books saying the same thing. Pay yourself first. Now, I've heard that 1,000 times. You have too. You've heard it 1,000,000 times, right? That means you got to take it off the barrel first and set aside. Okay. All right, that's enough. That's enough. All right, now let me show you this. Present, share screen. Where is it? Here it is. Okay. I'm going to share this with you. This is just something I picked up on Instagram. So it's interesting, these things that I'm going to talk about in terms of trading. So this is what people think. What people think consistency is you're making $5,000 per day, right? 5,000, right? And that's what people think, right? That's what I thought. But then come down, it says what consistency really is 5,000, 7,000, negative 2,000, 4,000, 1,000. It's about the person showing up being consistent by showing up to practice to practice trading every day, right? Consistency doesn't mean perfection, right? It's you won't ever have the same amount. You will not ever have the same amount, and you've got to get that into your mind. So people are going to ask you, how much money are you making? Well, have a number. Say, well, around 5,000, right? But because people want a specific answer, there is no specific answer. There is no specific answer. That number is going to jump around. It's going to be negative $2,000 on Monday. It's going to be positive 5K on Tuesday. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to vary. It's going to vary. And you've got to remember that consistency is showing up, showing up, showing up, showing up, showing up daily, and giving yourself a chance to really play with the markets. And therefore, once you do that, you can raise your bottom level up. You can get up to 5,000. You're going to start at 5 cents. You're going to start with 5 cents. Then it's going to be 10 cents. It's going to be $500. It's going to be $5,000. You will inch your way up, but you got to get consistent with it first because you've got to learn it. You got to learn it. Now, I'm still learning, and I am. What can I tell you guys about my journey? Well, let me tell you this. I let 3 stocks go because those 3 stocks were just eating me alive. They were just eating me alive. They were steadily going south. Steadily going, so what I mean by south is down in terms of money. So down, red, down. So this red, all the time, red, 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 red. And I was like, oh, man. And so I had to let it go yesterday because I was like, first day of the month, I want to see what I'm doing aside from these three stocks that are pulling me down. So I had to let them go. Which is why it is so important. It is so important that you only give just a little bit. Just a little bit, because you don't know which of your guesses is going to do right? So you want to secure your amount, set that amount, and use that amount every time, and then we'll go up a little bit, down a little bit, but on average, what is your time? What is your time to spend? You know. All right. I hope I reach someone with that. But yeah, I had to let those 3 go. I had to let them go. Hurt my heart because I was like, they were all down. They're all south. They're all red. I was like, But yeah, but I remembered on one of them, I remembered, 2 of them, I remembered to trail back. But on the third one, I didn't. I went full force, and now I got to let it go. So Ashe. All right, folks. Thank you for tuning in. I hope me talking about what to do with your money is important. I hope you really got that. Because I'm talking to myself. I'm talking to myself up here. Talking to myself. Ashe. And shout out to Fee King for dropping her money off in Annapolis, Maryland. All right. Now we know what a new Charles Schwab office there even looks like. You know? That's too cool. All right, folks. I'll see you mañana. Mañana is tomorrow is Fiancé File. So we'll find out about her experience with the Annapolis, Maryland version of Schwab. All right. So remember that now is better than perfect. Ashe. Later.